You're given a time machine fully equipped with bedroom, bathroom, cloaking device, matter replicator, and the entirety of Wikipedia. When do you go first? To the future to check the Wikipedia article concerning the side effects of time travel. Go into the past and get arrested in the years 1710, 1720, 1730, etc. for selling the elixir of immortality under my real name until people think it's real. Go solve all the unsolved mysteries. I'd go back to all the great empires and pretend to be an immortal wizard that only appears when he's needed and advise rulers toward a better future for humanity. That would probably start a whole religion. You'd be a god. Watch Alexander the Great die and get buried, and then the same with Genghis Khan. That would be cool and lucrative. You might not live through the second one. The story says that everyone who had any knowledge of the Genghis tomb was killed. Stay at home and use the matter replicator for drinks. Sleep till it's 3 p.m. If there's a hazmat suit somewhere in that time machine, then I'm going dinosaur watching. Duh. Whatever you do, don't step off the path. Do I get future Wikipedia as well? Unfortunately just current-day Wikipedia, but you could definitely try and look at the future's Wikipedia when you go there. Dinosaurs and pyramids, here we go, with a quick stop for Bitcoin. Cleveland. Mid-1930s. Gonna find out who the torso killer really was. Turns out, it was future you traveling back in time. What if all unsolved murders are just from one time-traveling serial killer? Today, I have a matter replication unit. I will patent its design and manufacture copies and make instantaneous replication of food and manufactured goods a reality, bringing all of humanity into a post-scarcity, Star Trek-esque world. My grandparents land in the early 1900s and meet my pawpaw as a kid. Hello, I know this seems crazy, but I'm actually your grandson, and I've traveled back in time too. You're funny looking. ... Look here you little shit. Go see premieres of major symphonic works like Beethoven 9. Shit, I might just stay in the time machine to get extra sleep. Bathroom. Always. Before you go out. I would find myself at birth. Replace the real me with a fake me using the matter replicator, taking myself. Then I'd spend the rest of my life raising myself better than they could neglect me. That already happened. You're the copy. First, I go to the future to get anti-aging tech, or just scan my current body with the matter replicator and save the blueprint. Now I can effectively live forever, because I can just keep records and have the time machine replicate a new copy of my current state when I die, which will have thought of this and thus will be able to find my records and confirm that I did in fact write them. Then I go off and do something like dinosaur watching. I would go to the 4th of September 2006 and save Steve Irwin. He was my hero. I don't know why, but I feel like the global warming cause would be a lot more effective with him around at its head, to protect the animals. To Reddit HQ in 2008 to find out how karma works. JFK assassination to see if there was a shooter on the grassy knoll and then never tell anyone what I saw. That, or 2 years ago to cop block myself so I don't like my cheating ex. I go and get my dog as a puppy again. I miss her. Go find the Daleks and do battle. Time travel to the time of Jack the Ripper. I'll be looking for the serial killer himself and finally solve the case. In order to keep his mysteriousness alive through time, I'd disguise myself as a police officer of the time but collect possible DNA and fingerprint evidence, test it in a modern lab, and return the stolen items to the place to not mess with all the time stuff. Would be terrible if you ended up being killed by Jack and he got your time machine. I'm black so I'll just use the amenities and not time travel. I go in the time machine in the present and take a nap. I'd subtly help cause wars across time using my superior knowledge to help push humanity to be miles ahead of where we are today in terms of technology. Then, I'd hit up the future and get my mind implanted into a cyborg body to live forever, and live through history, seeing everything there is to see. I'd leave texts that would be easily found in the future to fill our history books of what we're missing. What happened to Atlantis? Or all the natives that were killed? What was their culture like? What's in the Library of Alexandria? I'd slowly but surely start learning everything that's ever to be known, not staying in one place for too long. Fun thing about time travel and multiverse theory is that once you discover it, you basically become the god of the multiverse. So the answer is, whatever I want for all eternity. Don't worry, for the first several hundred years I have some pretty strong ideals that I hold to. I would go to sometime before my grandpa dies. I would really like to tell him about my current life, how I found an amazing girl, and mostly I'd just like to talk with him and hear his stories and jokes again. Outlined by Dennis E. Taylor has it right. You go back in time and use your historical knowledge of gold deposits and you make bank. Or use the matter replication device you have in this scenario to make money, gold. I'd go back to 1960 to when I was 6 and before my dad died. 2 chicks at the same time. Same chick. 2 of her, at the same time. ... I'd go help my family, get the booze factor out of the equation, and save my mom's life. Year 0. I'll go check out the birth of Jesus or whatever actually happened. Wouldn't it be more interesting to be there 9 months prior to Jesus's birth? Dress up as an angel, go back 9 months. Proceed to get laid. Win-win. Tell her to name the kid Jesus and then dip. Go back to the early humans and teach them how to do some stuff. Then go back to present day and see the difference. Which will have probably pushed every event many years forward, so when I go back the world will probably not exist anymore. Depending on how far you go, all of what you teach will likely be forgotten. Human technology didn't progress linearly. A lot was learned and forgotten by many different groups over a long period. January 1994, my first house. I interrupt my parents having sex. Go into the future and download future Wikipedia. Go back and stop the dickhead that stole my snacks. 1991 to the Metallica concert in Moscow. Checking out that jail cell Epstein was in. I'd go to the late 60s. Acid tests. Grateful Dead shows. Woodstock. Shit like that. Go listen to my great-grandpa play music. Back in time to when my stepdad got first sick and spend more time with him before he passed away. I would go to the patent office. That kind of technology is years ahead of the planet. I go back to my bedroom in May of 2013, the year I was raped, and beat the shit out the person who violated me. Then I would tell the younger me that everything would be okay and that I had a beautiful future. I would not change or alter anything at first. First thing I do is go back to when Jesus was on earth and invisibly observe what he was like. Then I would go back further to the point of early humans and see what they were like. I would basically get an idea of early humanity before doing anything else. Am I creating new timelines with my changes, or am I stuck to only one? If so, am I immune to being erased from history, changing my memory if I mess with my past? Anyway, I'd probably just use it as free portable housing with a free gold generator, and not time travel with it because I'm too scared. Stephen Hawking's time traveler party. Just to f with him. After that, I don't know. I assume I'd talk to him about what I could do next with the best outcome. Maybe he'd come with, "That'd be super cool." Okay, so, first I would go to December 25th. 1776. I would arrive in my cloaked ship and land it. I'd help George Washington get across the Delaware River by flying him over it. As he would have no idea, George Washington would then believe, of course, God was on his side. After dropped him off, I'd put on some badass cloak and dagger type costume, and walk out. There would be paintings of me, the man of God. Oh, but no, I'm not done yet. I'd go to the times of ancient Egypt, and literally create the pyramids with the matter replicator. Do the same cloak and dagger stuff, and walk back. Easily gives me some cool Egyptian carvings. Got 2 more in me. I'd go visit cavemen, and show them how to create fire. Some hieroglyphics of me. Finally, April 30th, 1945, the day that Hitler killed himself. I'd shoot him instead, of course taking the credit of killing him, having his guards in as Hitler panicked in his bunker. Boom. I'd become a time legend. The day that Hitler killed himself. I'd shoot him instead, of course taking the credit of killing him. Even better, don't let him kill himself and take him to Allied forces so he rots in a prison built just for him. Steal the top comment of this thread, comment it myself, and reap the karma. Muahahaha. The first thing I'm doing is saving Steve Irwin's life. Everything after that is a footnote. Okay, so technically speaking I could do something then go back and it would have never happened, right? So do some crime for fun then go back and reverse it. Or gather some friends and go on a time travel adventure. Maybe even get a hot tub. The assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Turn it into the assassination of John Wilkes Booth. I'm bringing 2000 RNDS and the will to save the Library of Alexandria. Hey Columbus. This isn't India. It isn't? Oh well, let's go back crew. Saved a couple million lives right there. The Grassy Knoll, Dallas, November 22, 1963 at 12:29 p.m. First I save my dad, then I save my dog. I would go back to the week before my grandmother passed away, and that night she called wanting me to take her to the store, and not only would I take her to the store but I would buy her the best meal that I possibly could. I would also buy her dogs whatever they wanted, and just sit there and spend time with her no matter what she wanted to do or what I wanted to do. I don't know, somewhere in the past and chill. This climate change stuff is weird. I'd go back and meet my great-great-great-grandparents and see how they lived and what type of people they were. I'd go find a dead dinosaur carcass, and plant a Nokia 3210 in it, just to with archaeologists. Damn thing would probably switch on too. Replicate a working gun. Time travel to Hitler's birth. Shoot myself. It'd probably go back and re-find something extremely valuable. Hide the money. Do it a couple more times and hide money elsewhere. Then maybe build my house and just buy it back now, so I have an older style home. Maybe get some fancy muscle cars new and park them somewhere so I could go get them now untouched. I don't need to change everything about the world, but live through some fun times I wasn't born to see. First, I would go to see my Norse ancestors. See the first king of Denmark, Gorm the Old, and his son Harald Bluetooth. Then back in time to see Socrates, Plato and Aristotle. I go to the future and ask myself what I did in the past that worked out well for humanity. I'm going to Stephen Hawking's party. I'd go back in time and make sure Tesla got the credit he deserved. What a legend. Edison. I would prove Epstein didn't kill himself. I would go to the future, grab their Wikipedia, then come back to now and become rich. Maybe with the help of a couple scientists. To have sex with that guy's wife. Easter Island prehistory. I go and tell Eve, hey F this Adam guy, I have chocolate. Then I father all of humanity and update Wikipedia with my name instead of Adam. Boom. The classic story of 11,001,010 Jesus and Eve. Go back and save my sister from drowning. To every Queen concert. I hate Doctor Who, but I'm a big fan of Vincent van Gogh, and that scene where he got to see how he's become one of the world's most cherished artists really hit me in the feels. I'd also probably show him Loving Vincent. Also I'd tell H.P. Lovecraft about how multiculturalism has taken over the West just to see how he'd react. Also I'd tell Thomas Jefferson to not even bother with the French Constitution as they'll just throw it out during the Reign of Terror anyways. Also I'd try to get the Allies to not be such dicks to Germany after World War I. The only reason Hitler was able to get power was because they made him necessary. Visit a certain art school, slip in a couple Germany bucks in a particular someone's application. The future. Tudor England. I'd go see if Jesus Christ was actually real. All the concerts I never got to see, particularly if the artist is now deceased. I would go back to the time of the Salem witch trials. With all that I would either save hundreds of lives, as they would stop hunting all those people and chase me, or I would be declared their king and use my knowledge to advance things for humanity even further. Only a handful of people died in the trials. Back to bed. If I miss anything I'll just double back and catch up. I would go to when I was 1 year old and stay in that time so I could keep a watch over myself, and save myself from some terrible things. I would work at my old daycare and become a mentor-type person to my younger self, mentally prepare myself for what's to come and just be there for me. I would go back to before the Library of Alexandria burned down, replicate the whole thing and put it somewhere. Then when it burns down I wait a week and put the replicated one in its place. People would go insane that it just reappears. I would go to the 70s. Maybe to NYC or LA and just walk down the street observing. Then after that I'd go to tons of concerts in different decades. Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Nirvana, Jimi Hendrix. I'd want to go to my parents' childhood towns and maybe see them there. September 10th, 2001. Go back 3 months ago to tell my friend to not get in the car that night. Maybe then he'd still be with us. Wow, you have a fully equipped bedroom and cloaking machine. Go back and bang all the chicks of power, like Helen of Troy, Cleopatra, among many others. Would take it to a level of science this world has never seen before. Ensure all my offspring are rulers of the world and achieve totally victory, thus bringing everything into a Star Trek-esque world, Shatner style. Go to the first Homo sapiens and kill them. To kill the Homo you must first become the Homo. In the time machine, duh. I'd go see the restaurant at the end of the universe. The bathroom to make sure the toilet paper is the correct way round. It depends. If it keeps oxygen levels the same then I would go back in time to the dinosaurs and take some gnarly pictures, souvenirs only if it has Avengers Endgame time travel rules. If oxygen levels change in the time machine, I'd instead go back to the time when the Tasmanian tiger existed and take a bunch of them with me back to now so they can repopulate Tasmania. The rise of the Soviet Union. Go to an underground bunker in 1945, and witness the sad suicide of a moustache man. Plot twist. He only killed himself because a house-sized time machine pinned him to a wall for days waiting for him to die, but he went mad because he couldn't see it. Just your muffled voice from within, urging him to do it. I would go kill my grandfather and create a loop.